A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. We're happy that you're here with us here on Turn 200, as it is time for coverage of the Top Split Sunday Strength of Field broadcast for the Porsche Mission R Challenge, week number 7. This time it is 3 laps. Yes, not a time limit race, but 3 laps rather, around the Nurburgring. Oh man, this is the combined layout, 16.1 miles, I believe 25.9 kilometers. Either way, 170 turns. You gotta do it 3 times here this afternoon for me here in the United States. My name is Tommy Cook. My partner Matt Williamson did the solo broadcast last week at Bathurst while I was off on vacation. This time it's him on vacation and I'm here doing the coverage for the Porsche Mission R Challenge, and what could very well be one of the most chaotic races that will ever be seen on this channel at any point ever. We have split the number exactly to get was 26, and we got it. So 13 in the top, 13 in the bottom. And this week's Thursday Strength of Field race winner, Enrico Trenti, is in the field. He'll be looking for his first win here on Turn 200. Champion of this series. JJ Wang, Ellis Spice, Duncan Watts. Some familiar names here getting ready to duke it out. We are absent 2 notable drivers. Of course, Dario Frattini is not in the field here, and Olivia Hayward, the current series points leader, will not be joining us here this afternoon. As the clock strikes 0, this is practice, but there is no qualifying with the Nurburgring being so long. The session is a little bit wonkier than it usually is. So we'll go ahead and hide the scoring pylon, and we'll give you the race grid here. For 3 laps around the Nurburgring, they will line up like this. Enrico Trenti, JJ Wang. We'll start on the front row here. Ellis Spice and Duncan Watts on that second row. Robert Tang and Bruce Silva then on row 3. Shiva Nath and Jamie Hamel-Smith on row number 4. Connor Pearson and Piers Berry on row number 5. And is Dante Wright, Lilac Zier, and I believe Ryan Phillips, the final starter here. And we will talk to our second split winner at the conclusion of the top split. So again, this track is really long. I don't know if anybody knows that or not. It's not like I haven't mentioned that already. This is going to be a wild one for sure. Shorter grid time. Should be about ready to rock and roll here. as we wait for green lights for Trenti and Wang, and we are underway. Trenti with a good start. Wang tried to dive into driver's right. Lockups. Oh, contact further back. Wheel-to-wheel racing action. Problems for Spice, Tang, Pearson, and Wright there in the opening 3 corners. As we're watching this field get itself sorted out, a lot of incident points here on Thursday afternoon. As we're watching Trenti doing a nice job up front. This is J.J. Wang we're following here in second. Wang with Duncan Watts right behind. Looking to driver's right. Oh, and Wang out wide. Here goes Watts up to second. Wang trying to hang on to third now, but it'll be Ellis Spice moving onto the podium. Side by side battling. This is Jamie Himmel Smith leading Silva and Berry. Himmel with a nice getaway. As we are leaving the stadium section, oh, there's problems. Piers Berry into the barriers hard. We'll move back up to second now. This is Duncan Watts and Ellis Spice. J.J. Wang with a nice recovery. He is back in tow. As here is Enrico Trenti coming past right now. Pretty healthy advantage right now, almost 3 seconds back to Watts and Spice. Spice, I'm sure, was loving the toe down that long straightaway, but now some funky corners coming up. As Wang is dropped back into the clutches of Robert Tang. Tang with a nose ahead to try and get to fourth. Coming up to this left-hander. Oh, and Tang off. Brings it back on, and brings it back on in 5th. There's Trenti. Enjoying all the battling behind, I'm sure. As the battle for second and the battle for 4th. Just absolutely fantastic. Oh, Wang wide. No, I would not want to be one of the drivers in this race. I'm terrible. Here at the Nurburgring, these guys are not so far. Duncan Watts leading this long line of cars. That's Wang, Tang, and Pearson. Back through the 6th position. Jamie Himmel Smith right now in 7th. As, oh, there goes Pearson. Oh, man. It takes Tang with him. And, of course, nowhere really to go here. And who has the right of way in this situation? We'll take a look at this one very quickly. Peterson, oh man, just a slip of the rear tires and takes Tang with him. Back up to second we go. This is Watts leading Spice. Comfortable lead here for Enrico Trenti. Up over 5.5 seconds. J.J. Wang got through that mess unscathed. The bumper cars stopped with Robert Tang. Dante Wright further back has just gotten around Pierce Berry. And here is Wright. Another pretty healthy line of cars here. One of the best corners in all of racing. I love trying to stick it out for a lap just to make it there, and then if I crash after that, then so be it. That's just the highlight. For those of you keeping track at home, we're still on the opening lap. Trenti now leading by 6 seconds. Oh, a bit of curbing there for Ellis Spice. Jack the right side of that car all up. Some dirt flying. The section of the track we're coming up to here, I'm sure, with the draft range on these cars, it's going to be an awful lot of fun. To go try and find the track map that Matt Williamson found last week. It's here somewhere. It's going to help a lot. There we go. Just in time for the long straight. You see how small those are. Again, this is 16 miles, 26 kilometers. Here's Spice with a look down the long straight. Who will have the advantage? Wow. What a move for Spice. Gets the pass done. A big braking zone here as we re-enter the stadium. J.J. Wang now right behind Duncan Watts, trying to move himself back onto the podium. And that is a lap in the books. 8-minute, 24-second opening lap, as that is a huge shunt there. J.J. Wang locks it up big time into Ellis Spice. Duncan Watts reassumes second. And as these two gather themselves up, they've let Hamel Smith and Bruce Silva through. My goodness. It's going to be a big lockup here from JJ, looking out to the right for the pass. Oh, massive. Out of nowhere, I'm sure, for Ellis Spice. As now this puts Duncan Watts 2 seconds clear of Hamel Smith, who was up on the podium. Oh, problems for Dante Wright. He has just gone back to the pits. And just loses the back end of the car. May have just thrown in the towel. Yes, I'd say so. JJ will definitely want that one back. Enrico Trenti leading. Duncan Watts has let Jamie Hummel-Smith get a little bit closer here, as I believe problems for Piers Berry. Oh, yes, indeed. Exited the stadium. Berry trying to get a good place to get back on track here. Same incident limit, I do believe, for this race applies. So 17X, and they are not hard to come by here. That's just a straight disqualification. So these two, after all of that tangling in the first lap and a quarter, are the closest drivers for position on track. It's Duncan Watts leading Jamie Hummel-Smith second and third. They are 11 and a half seconds behind Enrico Trenti, who won the Thursday top split race. Trying to track down Duncan Watts for second. Let's go a little kick pot action here. JJ Wang just had an off track. I don't believe he's lost any positions though, still running in sixth. See the back end of the car just try and snap out from underneath. And since I'm a stock car boy, the only thing I can think of is normally you're able to throttle out of that or use the throttle to your advantage whenever the rear end can slip out from underneath you. But there's traction control in this high-tech car. So if you're really in for a big slide, there's not a whole lot that you're going to be able to do to stop it. Other than lock it down and hope that you're not around a blind corner, which there are, of course, quite a few. Lilac Zier has gone off the track. Oh, and that is a precarious position. But gets it back going again. Trenti is just on rails up front. Take a look at Enrico here while we've got a little bit of time. He's the race leader. He's never not been. And he is just showing the way here, a commanding lead. Watson, Hummel-Smith tightening up here. Ellis Spice is also starting to catch Brudi Silva. That'll be for fourth once that materializes. Pearson, I think, thinking about a move right now on Ryan Phillips as well. We'll jump back there very quickly. This is Phillips in front of Pearson for eighth. Oh, and an off track there for Phillips. This might be opening the door for Pearson. Tough spot to try and make a pass into the braking zone. Phillips is back on defense here. Here we go again. Watts and Hummel-Smith. Oh, a bit too much curb there for Hummel-Smith. Jamie back on the attack. At least searching around as Watts goes a bit wide. has survived a lot of the action and atrocities in this race thus far. Would love to finish in second, but also I think would just love to finish. I mentioned Spice catching Brew de Silva, but Silva is closing in on this battle for second. So in theory, we could have another 4-car scrap here as we head down the long, drafty section of this course. All those sounds you're hearing, I think, is just the bottom flat skid plate of this car bouncing over the curbs and over the undulations here in this course. As the FIA doesn't check it after the race, everybody should be okay. Smith is gonna have a look. The question is, can the pass for second get done here down the long straight, and will this bring Silva and Spice in? Trenti with a 17-second lead. The battle for second, now a 4-way scrap. To driver's right, Smith with the pass. Jamie Hamel Smith up to second. Nicely done. Watson third. Silva holds off Spice down the straight. One more lap to go for Enrico Trenti. It's going to take something catastrophic for any of these drivers to get in the mix for the win, but the battle for the podium is very much on here. As Calamity Corner goes much smoother for these drivers this time. Connor Pearson down that long straight, got that pass done on Ryan Phillips to move up to 8th. We'll continue to watch them. I think they're not done battling as, oh, there goes Bruce Silva with a lockup back to 5th. That's Pearson and Phillips. Pearson went off the track, gave the position back to Phillips. Now they're going to try and trade again. To the banked right-hander. Pearson back to back to 8th rather. Jamie Hamel Smith trying to get on the burners here, trying to get away. This is Hamel Smith, Watts, and Spice. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. What a recovery it would be for Ellis Spice to get back on the podium after what transpired on the 2nd lap. Dipping tires. JJ Wang with problems again. Still has yet to lose a position. Back on track, running in 6th. Spice giving Watts all they can handle. Ellis Spice trying to get back up to P3. Nearly bumper to bumper. .23.5 seconds ahead of this, Enrico Trenti nearing the back half of the course. The only lap length race of the official calendar. We'll be back to the regular 20-minute scheduled action next Sunday. Spice cannot find a way around, hoping to force Duncan Watts into a mistake. Oh, and Watts is wide! But Spice can't take advantage. Bruce Silva is closing back in after the lockup there in the opening corners of the final lap. Jamie Hamel-Smith as we approach the long straights of the final section of this course, hoping to stay out of draft range. Hard landing there. Enrico Trenti is heading down the long straight. As soon as he's a little bit closer to the finish. We don't want to turn our eyes away for this battle for the final spot on the podium. Watts, Ellis, Silva. Trenti down the pit straight. Enrico Trenti sweeps the Nurburgring. Jamie Hamel-Smith with control of second, wheel to wheel for third. Duncan Watts on defense. Spice with another run. Spice looking, drivers left. To the line, Duncan Watts is going to hang on. Excellent stuff. Enrico Trenti with a dominant victory. 20 seconds over Jamie Hamel-Smith, who will finish in second. Duncan Watts, great defense there, will finish in third. As we await the other drivers to come across the line here back. Here's Robert Phillips in 10th and Lilac Zier. Pierce Berry and Dante Wright going to be DNFs here. But this should make it official. And indeed it will. So this is how they will shake out here for the Sunday Top Split broadcast for the Porsche Mission R Challenge. Enrico Trenti sweeps the Nurburgring. Jamie Hamel-Smith will finish in second. Duncan Watts in third. We'll talk to all three of these drivers, hopefully, momentarily. Ellis Spice put up a heck of a fight and a miraculous comeback, but will finish still in fourth. Bruno Silva will finish in fifth. JJ Wang, a tough one for him. He finishes P6. Shiva Knapp in seventh. Connor Pearson prevails in the eighth position. Robert Tang then will finish in ninth. Ryan Phillips back to 10th there on the closing lap. Lilac Zier, Pierce Berry, and Dante Wright. The rest of your finishers here. As we wait, I do believe still the bottom split results. I'll try and get those going here momentarily. It's a little bit harder here without Matt Williamson to figure all of that stuff out. I usually have a little bit of time to think and collect myself here, but not this time. As nobody's still on track, you're going to take a look at all the sights and sounds of the Nürburgring. And while we do that, I suppose we will talk to our third place finisher, who had a heck of a go here in the final lap. As soon as I figure out what I'm doing here, we will talk to your third place finisher, Duncan Watts, who got a little bit of everything here in this one. Congratulations, though, on the third place finish.
Oh, thank you very much. That was, it's going to take me a while to come down from that one.
I'm sure. 3 laps around here. You were absolutely in the thick of it all race long. It seemed like the first 2 laps you were just in wreck avoidance and missile avoidance, and then some hefty defense there on the final lap.
Yeah, I know I'm certainly not the fastest one around here, so getting up to near the front at the start was a great start, and there I was just trying to hold position and drive my line. I feel that Ellis behind me wasn't particularly happy with that last run, but I didn't intentionally try to block him or anything like that. I just felt like a little bit of side by side into that last corner is always going to end in a little bit of a bump.
I was going to say, you have to feel very vulnerable with 3 other drivers right behind you coming down that long straight into a heavy braking zone, especially with how this car drafts. I'm sure you just feel so vulnerable, especially on the final lap.
Absolutely. I lifted the previous 2 laps because I had someone next to me, so I lifted to let them pass, but I didn't want to lift on the last lap. So just kept my foot in, and I think it was a Nortex. I finished the race on Nort. I'm drained, I think is the word for that.
I mean, to go 3 laps around here with a 0X is very impressive, I would say. So, congratulations here on the podium. Anybody you want to shout out or say hello to here?
Yeah, always to Dario and Max, who I normally race with. They're otherwise engaged tonight, but Dario dragged me into this series, and I've been really enjoying it.
Well, we've enjoyed... I don't think we've had you up here in the booth post-race, unless I'm mistaken. But regardless, this was a fantastic performance here tonight. So looking forward to more chats here down the line.
I hope so.
Alrighty, now we will bring in your second place finisher. It is Jamie Hamel-Smith, Congratulations here on the second place run. What a storm up through the field here for you.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. Thanks.
Up 6 positions, you made some pretty good passes, especially there on laps 2 and 3 to get yourself in a position to get on the podium here. I guess talk me through sort of walking on eggshells around here and knowing when to make a pass.
Yeah, I mean this car is one of my favorite cars, but it bites really hard if you push it too hard too early, or if you overheat the rears, it just gives up and spins you. So usually my strategy is just to try to keep the car straight. But today I tried to be a bit more aggressive than I normally was. Got lucky with some incidents there. I barely squeezed by with a 0x on one of them. So I think it was just a little bit of luck and, just as usual, just being really patient with the power this car has.
Yeah, and you definitely had to dodge quite a few bullets here with people spinning around and going off left and right and making dive bombs here. I'm sure, much like Duncan, he said he was drained after this one, so it has to feel good to not only put this one behind you, but especially with a great result here.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love Nordschleife. I'll race something here every week if I had the opportunity. So yeah, this has been a really good one for me. I'm actually kind of energized. I could do it again.
Well, I mean, there is another race coming up. Hopefully, you could get enough people to make it official, but at least go and take some laps, I guess, if you still got some energy left. I know I'd be toast. I mean, I feel wore out, and I didn't race. I just watched. So, anybody you want to shout out or say hello to here?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to the community here around the Mission R and the Stock Car Brazil and all the smaller series. We see a lot of the same people racing those, and such a joy to race these cars in low participation series, and it's because of everybody else who shows up to race. So thanks to all of them, and thanks to you guys for the awesome broadcast.
Well, thank you very much. Very nice run here tonight. Looking forward to more.
Thanks.
So we hope to get a word in with our race winner, Enrico Trenti. Not in the cool-down room just yet, but I'm actively hunting down our second split finishing results. And I think it has officially concluded, so we'll go ahead and take a look at Jackie Matthews, a driver who we see a lot in the top split. I think was the top-ranked driver in the bottom split, and Jackie takes the win for the Nurburgring. Alex Efremov will finish in second. Florin Trifu will finish in third. Marcel Bartling in fourth. Nick Scarfini in fifth. Michael Perzinski in sixth. Raymond Deventer in seventh. Christian Doda in eighth. Robin Schreck in ninth. Callum Ray in 10th, Keith Gatehouse in 11th, Dennis Perry and Sean Corneal is your 13 finishers in the bottom split here. So nice job to Jackie Matthews. I guess, Jackie, if you're watching, you want to hop in the chat for a quick winner's debrief on your race. Jackie, the only driver to post a 0x in that race as well. So Jackie, if you want a quick chat, hop in. Enrico, if you want a quick chat as well as this race winner, feel free to hop in. Otherwise, we'll just roll into our usual closing shtick here and remind you that we've got a lot between now and next Sunday. The next time we will be back here on the channel is tomorrow for the season finale of Truck 200. And that will be at Michigan. So that is going to be a whole bunch of fun to close out the trucks on a big 2-mile oval. On Tuesday, we are off debating on doing a POV stream. We'll have to wait and see. Wednesday for the ASRL Southern Shores Realty Sports Car Championship, they are at New Jersey Motorsports Park. Get ready for some tech track racing. GT3, GT4 multi-class action. Then Thursday for the Maximum Velocity Racing League. They are at Talladega before we come back here next Sunday afternoon for us. Sunday, whatever time it is today, or I guess Monday morning in theory for any of our. It wouldn't be Monday morning yet. I don't know. I don't know how time zones work, but either way, Next week, week 8, is at Virginia International. So that'll be our first trip to VIR here on the channel for the Mission R Challenge. And yeah, that's about all we've got for you here. Still hoping to hear from Enrico or Jackie Matthews, but it does not seem like that is going to happen. So we may just call this one a night. Yeah, that is what we're going to do, I believe. So thank you to everybody that was watching here. Thank you to Raceverse for chatting. We got a lot of exciting stuff just announced today, December 19th. We are doing a big multi-class bash for charity. It's the Turn 200 Toys for Tots at the Glen 2.4-hour endurance race with NASCAR trucks, Lotus 79s, also the Super Formulas, and a couple of GT3 and a couple of GT4 cars. That is what that multi-class race is. So that is going to be a wild one. It is a paid entry race. Of course, it's for charity. So anybody that would like to participate in that, join the Turn 200 Discord. That link is in the description of this video. So that is going to be a blast. We hope you'll be a part of it, or at least come and watch and donate and have yourself a good old time. But still got some time between now and December 19th for that. So we hope to see you back here next Sunday or anytime between now and then here on Turn 200. For everybody with a Mission R Discord and the Mission R Leadership Group, for everybody, I guess, with iRacing, I am Tommy Cook. Until we meet again, we say so long from the Nurburgring, where Enrico Trente stands tall and sweeps the Nurburgring.